Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Guys, do I have a juicy story for you? I feel like I'm always gonna say the story is juicy even when it's not juicy, but I promise this is juicy. This is juicy, but at the same time it's weird. I feel like this is not something that you see every day. This is not something that you see every month or every year. But I guess you can see it on Reddit because it seems like it happened. Okay, let's get into the story. Now, with the stories here, I'm not gonna read the whole story. I'm just gonna summarize what the story says. Some days I will post I will sort of put the post up on the channel as I'm reading the story, if I remember to, or if I choose to. But let's get into the story now. So the story is about a lady who is married. She is 25 and married to a 29-year-old. They met in varsity when she was 18. She apparently says that she finished school, high school that is, when she was 16 because she was one of those smarty pants and went to varsity early. So when she was in second year, 18 years old, she met her now husband, right? And because she was coming from a very poor background, she chose, though the husband was interested in her, she decided that she doesn't want to date. She wanted to wait until she was done with varsity, then start dating. Okay? Okay, I hope you're all with me. So, the husband, or rather the now husband, said, okay, we can be friends. If you don't want to date, I really want you and I really want to date you. But if you don't want to date, I'm going to wait for you. And the guy at the time was doing his final year at varsity and was about to go start working. Okay, cool. So what happened was, in the 2-3 years after meeting, they were hanging out, going to lunches, having dinners, having picnics, anything that friends do, go out and party together, study together, and all of those things. They were doing all of that together, getting to know each other, sort of, I don't know, trying to level things out for when they start dating. Okay, cool. And then came the time when the lady now finished school and started working for the same company that took her to school, because she went to school on a bursary. Right, cool. And then she and the guy decided now it is time for them to start dating. Okay, this is nice. We love young love over here. Okay, they started dating and everything was good, everything was cool. And then she lets us know that the husband was raised by a single mother. The dad left them when the husband was still young. And the mother raised and the mother raised him all alone, and she struggled with him, but eventually, by the time the guy was a teen, they were well off. The mother was doing well, everything was great, they were close. She mentions that the husband and the mother were very, very close. They literally spoke like 3 times a day or more, because the mother would always call, and it didn't seem to bother the guy as much, and she wasn't bothered by it. Yeah, now she just thought, okay, if they are that close, then it means that he's gonna be good to him, because you know how they always say that if your partner is good to his mother or his siblings, sisters, that is, then he's gonna likely be good to you as well. Okay, cool. So she says that she goes on to say that during the friendship, now before they started dating, she never met the guy's mother. Though they would speak on the phone occasionally, even though it felt forced, because the mother was never really interested in speaking with her for long periods of time, but they did speak occasionally. But then when they started dating, the guy took her home to go meet the mother, and she took him home to meet her parents. Now her parents were very poor. The father was not working because of an injury. The mother was also not working. She would have part-time jobs here and there, but the boy's family was pretty well off, like I said. Okay, the mother was not very welcoming to her, but her family was very welcoming to him. Obviously, it's always like that most of the time. The guy is always welcomed to the family, but the lady It's always some drama, whether you are white or you are black or maroon. There's always some drama when it comes to welcoming the daughter-in-law in most families. Not all families. There's families that love their daughters-in-law. There's families that just refuse to acknowledge the daughters-in-law. Okay, cool. Now to get to the gist of the story. So she and the guy dated for a year, nah? After like they did it for a year, and then the guy was like, "No, I think I'm ready for marriage. I think we are ready for marriage. We wanna get married." And then he eventually asked her to marry him. During the engagement, the guy planned a whole surprise, a big surprise, because the guy was working for a very big company, earning very good salary, and invited all the important people in their lives, but his mother didn't show up. All girls said, "I'm not coming, I'm not gonna make it." I'm joking. The mother made up something about her being sick and having a contagious disease of some sort, so she wasn't gonna make it to the engagement party. But then they got engaged anyway, and a day after that, the mother was miraculously cured and went on a vacation. Went on a what she called as a sabbatical, and then so they didn't see her after getting engaged, and she only came back from the sabbatical for after 2 months. Wow, talk about running away from your problems. I guess she's rich, so she can do that. But anyway, so she came back after the 2 months and was like, "Yo, I'm happy for you guys. I'm happy that you're getting married, but can you guys wait and not get married so soon after getting engaged? Get to know each other more, because we've only been dating for a year." Yeah. And then she promised, "If you guys wait, I'm gonna buy you a beach house. I'm gonna buy you cars each, because I can afford it, and you are my kids." And the lady says that she didn't think anything of it. She thought she was just giving them good advice, so they took it and waited 18 months when they were initially gonna get married within 4 months of the engagement. They waited 18 months, but then the marriage now, the marriage, or rather the wedding came. It was time for them to get married because they can't be engaged forever. No one can, or okay, the other people get engaged for like 5 years, which I don't understand why. But anyway, this is not about me. The marriage came. Now the wedding day rather, it came, and then on the reception, on the rehearsal dinner, the mother-in-law stood up and she was gonna make a speech or practice speech, I guess, rehearsal speech. And she was like, "Oh, I'm so happy for you guys. You guys are cute together. I'm gonna have beautiful grandbabies, and I'm also even more happy that my son is gonna marry me also tomorrow. He's not just marrying you. So my heart is at ease. I am happy. I welcome you into the what? I welcome you into the family." Everybody was gobsmacked. Everybody was flabbergasted and looking at the bride now to react to what the mother-in-law just said. And the bride just didn't say anything. She just looked at the husband to be, and he was like, "No, let it go, babes. Don't cause any scene. My bosses are here. I don't want them to see you in a bad light. Please, let's talk about this later." And she didn't say anything. So everyone pretended like that didn't happen, laughed it off, and then they continued with the rehearsal, and they ate their hearts off, and then off they went to sleep. And then the next morning now, my the lady is being told that the guests are arriving for the wedding and all of that stuff, and it was fun. She was happy. She was getting ready with her bridal party, only to find out that back at the ranch, that about, oh my goodness, only to find that mother-in-law and her husband, or now husband, are getting married secretly. Or rather, not so secretly, because apparently there were other guests there. There were guests that were attending mother-in-law and hubby, or now hubby's, wedding ceremony in the same venue, in the same chapel that the son is gonna marry the girlfriend. I can't breathe. Okay, I'm sure you also can't breathe, but apparently this happened. So apparently it happened, and then So apparently, the mother-in-law was right when she was saying that she wasn't joking, even though the husband said, "No, my mother is joking. Yes, I had promised that I'm gonna marry her before I could marry anyone, but I was young at the time." These are things that boys and girls always say, Daddy is my husband when you are young. Mommy is my wife, and all of those things. All kids do it, or most kids do it when they have a healthy or good relationship with their parents and they play house and all of those things. They say those things. There's nothing weird about saying you're gonna marry your mom when you are a baby or when you are young, a teenager even. It's a joke. Like, no one in their right mind would take that as something serious, but this mother clearly did, and somehow convinced her son that it was okay for them to get married, especially on the same day that he's getting married to his wife. So apparently about 10-ish, and under 10 guests were there, and all those guests knew about the wedding. Some of them found it weird but wanted to support. Some of them didn't find it weird at all because it wasn't a real marriage. They did the whole thing, walking down the aisle, going towards a pastor that is, I guess, certified online, because I don't think a pastor in their right mind would do that. Like a proper preacher from church who owns the church or runs the church would marry a mother and a son. Just like that. I don't think that would happen, but okay. Apparently, it happened here. They got married. She walked down the aisle with her sister, but in hand as if her sister was a mother, walked towards her son who was at the end of the aisle. My goodness. And then they said their vows. She didn't say what kind of vows were said. Those till death do us part, whatever kind of vows. I don't know. She didn't say. She didn't write here what those vows were. But they got married. They didn't exchange rings also, but they did exchange necklaces. And yeah, they got married. They didn't sign the marriage license because obviously it's not a marriage, but then they are married. It sort of tainted the whole day that was meant for the wife, the real wife, and the husband. But then they got married, and then the wife found out at the reception now. The mother had guards to even get up and say, "I'm so glad that my son married me before marrying you. We are all three of us are tied together as if we are in some kind of a trouble." Oh my goodness, this is scary. My God, I can't, no. Apparently, the mother got up to make a speech once again and said that she was grateful for her son for keeping his promise and marrying him and marrying her before marrying the second love of his life. Now making the wife second to her, and the husband was just like, "No, baby, let it go. It's not that big of a deal. Whatever." And then she later found out that they actually did get married and before her, and yeah, everybody was flabbergasted. She was flabbergasted, but she continued to be with him until a year later, because now she says it's a year later. She's feeling so overwhelmed. She doesn't love her husband anymore. She doesn't feel love for her husband anymore. In the past year alone, the mother has sort of been like a second wife. She tells them what to wear. She tells them what to eat. When she irons this shirt or this pants for the husband, their mother will call in the morning, like, "What are you wearing to work?" And then he'll be like, "I'm wearing this." "No, man, change it to the blue shirt. Change it to the red pants because they look better on you." And then he will always choose, "Okay, throw them all in the bin. Throw the husband in the bin. Divorce him. Throw away the papers. Burn them. Burn the ring. Everything." Because what is the need? Because clearly he's literally married to his mother. He's literally married to his mother. Like, they might have not signed a marriage contract, but he's married to him. If she chooses you guys' food, but it doesn't stay with you, no. Now the lady is saying that she can't even go to the mother's house anymore because she feels so uncomfortable because the mother and the son's wedding pictures are up on the wall, but the son and the real wife's wedding pictures are not up on the wall. That tells you everything you know, my baby. Just leave this guy. She's saying she doesn't know if she should leave. She doesn't know if she's being weird, because some family members say that she's being weird. Others say she should continue filing for divorce, so she wants to know what everybody else thinks she should do.